want to tell you, like, this voice is beautiful. Now, I remember the last video I said, like, forget it, right? When I was done with the video, I was like, man, it sucks that I can't remember it, It's such a beautiful drink. And it goes, the thing about life is people force life. That's why you make a lot of mistakes, It's like I showed you the river to get you to understand, like, life is such a beautiful thing, such an amazing thing that it has this way of putting itself in this place to show you nostalgia, to get you to remember. And I don't know what I was doing. I think I was driving or something, and it just popped in my head. It's so beautiful. So, the voice in my head was like, when you think of language, they have a masculine word and a feminine word for some languages. But the English language combined them both, making it so there's always someone who's dominant and always someone who's submissive in every conversation. You understand? Someone's taking lead, if you will. And the voice showed me, like, it was something that Moses didn't see when it came to dealing with someone who was trying to be dominant over him. And he was like, it's something that happens when you try to walk away from a narcissist, Because narcissist people are mainly upset because they don't want to live in your shadow. So they poke at your shadow. And you gotta think of yourself like a candle. That's what he showed me, like you a candle. You understand? And it don't matter what direction you go in, there's always gonna be a shadow there, no matter what. And then he showed me, like, when you put like certain mirrors in certain places in a circle around the fire, you get a multitude of shadows. And he's just showing me, like, this is what happens when you gain perspective over your life. You get a multitude of narcissists coming at you from all angles. That's why it's so biblical, because this is literally the same battle that Moses and Ramses were going through. Ramses didn't want to live in Moses' shadow. He cared more about his title than he did about life, He's just kind of showing me, like, I guess you could say Moses is pretty much battling the same thing inside with his genes, his bloodline, that Ramses is dealing with in external sense, And it makes sense, like, how it goes back to, like, the whole street rat analogy, the hood mentality, where it's like you can take the person out the hood, but you can't take the hood off the person, right? That battle he went through with Ramses, as far as, like, the narcissistic battle, when he left, he carried that with him, and he took it with him. That's why you see afterwards he was angry. He broke the 10 Commandments. He He smashed the rock to make the water come out. He carried that cold heart with him, the hardening of the heart that stayed with him. Because he couldn't let go of his brother and his duty to his blood instead of staying in the past. And, you know, of course I'm going to have to write this down now that I remember. But I'm realizing there's two forces here. You got the force that is trying to get you to remember something. And you got the force that's trying to get you to forget. And it's pretty much, if you ask me, the equivalent of what Moses and Ramses were. Moses was someone who forgot, who needed to remember. And Ramses was someone who remembered, who needed to forget. You know, you let the personal people in my life, like, listen, this just aren't what you seeing. Like, no, it's just this thing that we've all been told to deny in ourselves. It's like, you know, if you think of this like simulation, there's something inside of you that's trying to get you to, like, reboot back, not just in a time where you believe was the most correct, but into a time where time believed it was most correct. And maybe that's kind of one of the reasons why we're, like, mimicking the same footsteps as our ancestors, you know. I don't know. I get these dreams, I get it. Please do me a favor for entertainment purposes, for educational purposes, conspiracy theory, you know how we do with the X-Files, Outer Limits, Star Trek, you know. And I guess I'm saying all of that to say that because, you know, I have an anxiety about being able, I have an anxiety about saying something that's going to trigger something, good or bad. But it's like, I don't like center stage. I don't, you know, I feel like, you know, it's homework. Everybody, you know, they put it in your head, you know, do the homework. Why am I the only one who remember this? You know what I'm saying? Like, for the life of me, I don't know how I see it. Like, for the life of me. For the life of me. It's so amazing. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah. Tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, happy knowledge, honey.